Hey, this is Brad from MOTODEMIC. Here we're going to install the Monster Headlight Conversion for the 797, 18 and up 821, and the 17 and up 1200 and 1200S. Let's see what parts come in the kit and what tools we need for the job. Here we have our pre-assembled conversion bracket, our headlight side brackets, our hardware, and for this install we've opted to go with our black adaptive LED with black retaining ring. The kit includes a 4 and 5 millimeter hex tool. You're going to need a 10 millimeter socket on a ratchet and a towel. This kit does work with the stock turn signals, but we're opting to go with our Moto Gadget M-Blaze pins with our pre-wiring option, and those require a 13 millimeter wrench. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is put our towel on the front fender. Now we can begin the process of removing the headlight. We're going to turn the bars over. Using our 10 millimeter socket, we're going to remove the nut securing this side of the headlight. Set that aside. Now we can remove the headlight connection, mount, undo this rubber guide. Remove the headlight connector from the mount by pressing in that tab. And finally, unplugging the headlight by lifting this tab and sliding the connection out. And we'll come over to the other side and remove the other nut securing the headlight with our 10 millimeter socket. Setting that aside. Next, we can remove the light by simply sliding it up, gently pulling it out, and now take our towel and head to our workbench. So here at the bench, we're gonna remove these two posts from the stock light using our 5 millimeter hex tool. Now we can set the stock light aside, grab our conversion bracket, and install these two posts into the threaded holes located underneath. Go ahead and tighten those up. And now we can install the headlight side brackets with the long edge on the bottom when looking at it from the side. We're going to install these just hand tight so that there's still some play in them. See, when you're looking at it from the side, longer edge. And this is now ready to go on the bike. If you're planning on changing your stock turn signals, now is the time to do so. The connections are located in this rubber right below the gauge. Best thing to do is to pull those out, unplug them, pull those connections back through. Now with the signals unplugged, you need to undo the wiring as you follow it back. So that the harness is completely freed for removal. Now using your 5 millimeter hex tool, you can simply just remove the bolts securing the turn signal mounts. Once the bolts are removed, the turn signals come right off. Now we can go ahead and set those aside. Now is the perfect time to come in and install our turn signal adapter harnesses and clean up any of the remaining wiring. Now we're ready to install our conversion bracket. Feed the wiring through the opening if you're changing those. Go ahead and install the posts back where they were in the stock position. Make sure our wiring's clean and clear. Now's a good time to go ahead and place our towel back on our front fender and install our turn signals before installing the headlight. SX is the clutch side and DX is the throttle side. Now we can bring the headlight over and tuck all of the turn signal wiring inside of the housing, while also feeding the pre-wire connection out of the headlight back towards the original connection spot. And then using one of our supplied 8mm bolts with nylon washer, we can go ahead and install it through the side. Grabbing our 5mm hex tool to go ahead and snug that up. Repeating on the other side. With the headlight in place, we can now go through and tighten our bolts. First, we'll start with the headlight bolt using our 5mm hex tool, making sure the headlight is perpendicular to the ground. We'll go ahead and tighten this down. And with our 4mm hex tool, we're going to tighten the bolts that secure the side bracket to the conversion bracket. Repeating this on the other side. Now we need to install the nut we removed earlier from the stock light, making sure that any bracketry that was removed is put back into place. We're going to go ahead and tighten that up with our 10mm socket. We're not going to go too tight, just enough to keep it in place. Repeating this on the other side, and also reconnecting our headlight, reinstalling our rubber wiring guide, and the bracket that was holding the wiring harness. Okay, and finally we can remove our towel. Go ahead and turn on the key. We should have low beam, high beam, pass function, and if you installed turn signals, now is the time to test those. And you're all set. And there you have it, the Monster Headlight Conversion for the 797, 18 and up 821, and 17 and up 1200 and 1200S. For more details, head to motodemic.com. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.